How's it going, everybody? This is going to be your Cosmic Crucible Season 8 rules reveal. This is going to be a pretty vanilla video because I'm actually not going to be able to give any recommendations as there is an Envoy tournament happening 1 hour from when this video was posted. If you missed that, make sure you check out the VODs either on YouTube or on Twitch. It's going to be really hyped. It's a Scopely Throne tournament, and there's going to be some codes to give away and all kinds of good stuff. So hopefully you got in on that during it, or hopefully you get in on it after the fact. It's going to be a lot of fun. But let me know if you guys have any sort of really cool creative ideas once you see these room rules. I'm pretty excited because it's going to be a lot of creativity. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so here we are in the playtest. Now we're going to go through all the rules. We're going to start with the global rule, and you're going to understand what I mean when I think the rules of the season are very vanilla, i.e. plain. So, the global rule, the Cabal of Evil. On defense and offense, Cabal characters count as Masters of Evil. On the face, that's cool. So, like when Kang's on the team, the Cabal team's going to start with speed up. But that's still doing what we've already been doing with the Cabal and Masters of Evil. They only go together if we absolutely, positively, 100% need to have that. Now, where this might be interesting if someone puts Kang with the Cabal on defense, and then somebody tries to mirror that, the enemy Kang will go first, get speed up, but then still the Cabal members who have speed up plus safeguard, they're still gonna, I don't think it's gonna affect the defensive side, is all I'm trying to say, but I'm open to being wrong on that. And normally we only merge those two teams together if there's like a super mega defensive team. So I don't think this is actually going to affect very much. We still have the regular 20% max health and 10% damage, and then the exhaust feature is still in play. So nothing crazy to go over there. Then we got the room rules themselves. So for stage 1, field medic. On defense, I don't know why somebody's falling right now, I'm not streaming. On defense and offense, all characters on turn, they clear vulnerable from themselves. And they're going to heal for 20% of the max life when they clear that vulnerable for each vulnerable. So if they have up to 3, they're going to get 60% of their max health back. That can be very impactful, but it's only on turn. I assume this means on their turn. So that's kind of okay, I guess. Like, you're still going to be able to take advantage of your own vulnerables. Most matches are dictated by speed anyway. So if you apply vulnerable, you probably have somebody following up into that vulnerable right away. But anyway, characters with vulnerable will gain minus 25% resistance. Then we have blood transfusion. So on defense and offense, all characters on turn gain bleed. This is interesting because of Old Man Logan, right? This is, I guess, is going to be like an Old Man Logan room. Because when you take a turn, you're going to get bleed, which is going to activate Old Man Logan's passive, giving him 30% speed to himself and all mercs for money allies. I'm not, because 30% speed stat. I'm just not sure how this is going to translate into wins. I think something like the new Warriors, sure, they'll gain a bleed when they go in there, but because they start with 35% speed bar, I think they would all go first still, and they'd wreck you. Unless you, of course, you put somebody very powerful with the mercs for mouth team, like a Skrull, but then you're going to get Cabaled, and you're probably going to lose anyway. Or like a Black Knight, but then why do that? Because Black Knight would have applied bleeds on the first enemy turn anyway. So yeah, it's weird, right? But maybe I'm wrong. The Mercs for Money team is going to have like the best stats in the game pretty much because they're the newest team. So let's see how that plays out. But there's more. So when you have bleed, you will gain 5 damage per bleed. So a team like Mercs for Money, double-edged sword, they'll come in here, the enemy will get a bleed, they'll go quickly, but they apply a lot of bleeds. And then they're going to buff the enemy team, unless they die, of course, right? But also, when applying bleed, they're going to gain defense up. So if you have, let's say, a Noir goes in there and he ults right away and he applies bleed, he's also going to gain himself a defense up stack. And that's it for stage 2. So nothing crazy there. I don't think it's super impactful either way. A cool idea, I guess, would be like... Also, I'm the on-turn bleed, I don't know whose damage it's being applied from. Is it being applied from the character who gets the bleed? Like, so say it's 2099's turn. The bleed that is applied to him, that damage, is it based on his attack? Or does the room have a set attack stat? I don't know how that's going to go. It's an interesting concept. Anyway, I don't want to talk about blood infusion very much because I'm not sure it's going to impact much except for the Old Man Logan. And I think you're going to need to put super powerful people even still with that to make it matter, because if you just put like full Mercs for Money team in there and I hit it with new Warriors or like Tangled Web, I think I still like go first because all the speed bar, I get a nasty stun off, I get my charges up, and then the rest, whatever else I brought in there is going to wreck you. It's an interesting idea, but we'll see how it goes in practice. Double tap. This one's kind of cool. So on defense and offense, all characters on successful hit, if this target has exposed, perform a basic attack against that target. Characters with expose have minus 20% resistance. So characters that do expose, what do we got there? We have Mephisto does it on his special, right? Skrull does it, obviously the first one. Vol does it. Nightcrawler does it. Is that it? So that's going to be your exposed targets. Now, if you put a Skrull in here, unless you put it with something like Superior 6, I guess, it's just going to get Caballed anyway. And even if you did put Superior 6 with Skrull in here, then you're going to get Cabal Master of Evil. And you're going to get destroyed, especially because those Superior 6 don't spawn with defense up, right? So it's an interesting idea. I think you want to keep your Skrull away from this room and lean more into characters like Nightcrawler who can do an expose. Maybe like Vol if you have Mephisto. I'm sure this will be a fine room. Any room would be a fine room for Mephisto. So again, kind of an interesting one. Almost like a nothing burger, but it kind of screams Nightcrawler to me. So maybe we'll see some interesting Nightcrawler non-extreme teams in there. We'll have to wait and see. Under the weather. So on defense and offense, all characters on turn, they'll clear all negative effects from that character. And then on turn N, they'll gain defense down, offense down, slow, and disrupt. So this is going to be pretty tough. So it's going to clear all negative effects when it's their turn, but in between, they're not going to gain any buffs. They're not going to be able to do strong counterattacks. They're going to be slow. They're going to be vulnerable. So it's almost the opposite of what we've had in the past where you want to go fast. Maybe you want to go slow so that the enemy is then going to have these debuffs and then your team is going to hit into these debuffs. A lot of people will be touting this as just the Infinity Watch room because of the safeguard immunity. I think it's going to be more complicated than that. I think it's going to be more about teams that clear debuffs and then apply immunity to themselves. So Mercs for Mouth does that. Mercs for Money. I don't want to keep calling that. Mercs for Money does that. I believe the Extreme team does with Forge. Spider Society might do that as well. So I think there's going to be more options in there than just Infinity Watch. I think that room will actually be wasted on Infinity Watch. We'll have to wait and see on that one. That's kind of the most interesting room to me. Also, characters that do like strong counterattacks, like a Gambit or a Black Knight. I'm interested to see how they're going to apply in that room. So, like say the enemy team takes a bunch of turns, and then Gambit's been getting speed bar the whole time, and then he does his special into defense down, offense down. If he's got like offense up from Sunspot, that's great, but even if he doesn't, he's still going to crank out damage. And he's going to apply speed up to himself before the disrupt gets out there, so he kind of counters that. Yeah, but we're going to have to wait and see how that one goes. That's going to be a pretty interesting room, I think. I'll be back. Alright, so I'll be back. On defense and offense, villain characters on spawn gain revive once at 50% max health. This is a cool idea. It's going to be immediately countered if somebody brings like a Black Cat in. It's just going to steal all the revives, depending on the order of operations from when the room does it. So you can see a lot of big time Spider-Man counters coming in here, maybe some Red Hulk counters. Mephisto would come in here and just ruin that. But as far as the defensive side goes, you'll probably see some Superior 6 action in here. Maybe some Darkhold, maybe some Secret Defenders of their own kind of coming in here with like a Black Cat and Morgan Le Fay, that team that we saw. That team's not really gated behind the current room rules, so I think we're going to see that one stick around for a bit. This is going to be an interesting room. I think it's mostly going to be a Superior 6 room, but we're going to have to wait and see how that goes. There is the potential to see a lot of big turtling this season, but yeah, I'm just not sure. Then there's Supercharge. We're very familiar with this room. On defense and offense, all characters, after using ultimate ability, spread all positive effects to adjacent allies. So it's got that butterfly effect that we saw in, I believe it was the Red Hulk Scourge, where it was when Fortifier characters doing ultimate ability gain all the positive effects. So now it's any character doing ultimate, but also ultimate abilities cost 2 less. So if we have a character like Quicksilver, he gets his turn, maybe a bunch of people went before him, he now has a bunch of buffs, he's going to ult turn 1, it's already devastating, but then he's also spread like 14 different buffs to his team. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one goes. I'm a little concerned that we might see some very powerful defensive options in there, but of course, if someone throws their Skrull in there, then you get hit it with the old Apocalypse Doom comp. Because now we don't have that, villains have 25% less health that we do in the current season of Stage 4. So I think that's also going to be a bad room for a Skrull. Unless they do like Skrull Hive Mind. And then Skrull ults, more people than just Doom get pushed. They get pushed to 30, not just 50, and oof, boy, it's not good. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Hopefully nobody from the Envoy tournament watches this video ahead of time. So I do think Hive Mind Skrull, it's probably going to get a little bit of play there because that'll pull your Cabal, but then maybe they're going to do like a... Anyway, I shouldn't talk anymore because I'm not doing that, and I hope no one else does that. But we'll have to wait and see. All right, guys, have yourselves a wonderful day. Let me know what you guys are thinking about these room rules in the comment section below. It's pretty vanilla, right? Or maybe I'm blind. Maybe you guys have some amazing ideas. Well, let me know in the comment section below. But for now, stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.